Aware men, sir, welcome back to the channel. Deep South Connect. It's all about respect. And today we have one of my sisters in the building. Someone who I've known for probably 15 years plus. The first time I saw this legend was at Masi Massive. The second time she was co-hosting the Mzansi Carnival in 2015. The third time, I don't even remember the third time. There's been so many times. I've known you from Desmond Tutu to Youth Center. You co-hosted Peace Jam. You have been a pioneer of facilitation and mentoring youth in Masiphumelele and the Deep South and the wider Cape Town for so long that I could go on forever referencing the different things you've done. We're going to talk about it today. Welcome, Khululwa Nkatshu.
Thank you, Luke. Thank you so much.
AKA Khulu.
Yes, Khulu. I'm Khulu now. I was Khul's then, you grow,
You grow.
Yes, you grow. As a nickname. Nicknames also grow from nicknames, eh? So Khul's was like from a younger age.
True, it was Khul's. Yeah,
yes, it was Khul's, yes.
Yeah.
So now I'm Khulu, more broader into my name than just Khul's. See, yeah.
Respect, sister.
Cool.
So you talk about growth. Let's start right at the beginning. Right from the start, how did you get into being a facilitator of youth in your community?
Well, firstly, thank you for the invite. It's been a while since we worked together, and life has been always just bumping each other in one way or another. Well, I would say I got it from, Sunday school. My mom was involved in Sunday school at church when I was growing up.
Okay.
And then she would always take me to Sunday school, and you had a mentor there. And then from there, in primary school, in high school, there was mentorship. And I kind of liked being mentored, having someone to talk to that's not your parent, because there are things that you can't speak with your parents, or your other friends. You want someone more secretive, someone that they're not going to be telling someone else about it. And then from there, I was also part of Ikamva Youth, actually. Yes, whereby I was a tutor. From there, I was a mentor. So from there, I liked mentoring. And also, since I grew from mentoring, I had better educational in terms of support, because my mom was a domestic worker, so she was never being able to help me with homework. She would tell me to go to the library, and sometimes you don't get that much information at the library. You get some that you can understand, but then when there's someone to help you and guide you and say this certain question means you to look at this certain books, not just for you looking and trying to find your answers on your own. So that's when I started mentoring myself and facilitation. And also, the South has got a lot of those happening in terms of music and in terms of school. It's quite rich if you look in the right organizations, of course, and the right people. So from there, I was like, why not help as well? Because I was also helped to be able to be better in terms of my academical school and in terms of also my acting. So I decided to also mentor the youth from my community to also help them get a step further in there, into the information, into the people that know people. So that's how I got attracted into facilitation and mentorship.
Yo, fire, my sister. So you mentored yourself and then started to mentor other people down the line.
Yep.
Yo, that is fire. Now, before we go deeper into your facilitation and the work you've been doing mentoring youth, you mentioned your acting.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I know you've got a passion for entertainment. Can you tell us a little bit more about your involvement in entertainment?
Yes, I was actually involved in a play called A President in Waiting. It was written by Janelle Moran, directed and produced by El Mento and Emily Fermack. The play was when Nelson Mandela was about to die, and then I met Janelle in Desmond Tutu Youth Center. She actually came when I was doing a session with the youth, and then we were doing an acting session. So she looked, and then after that she sat with me and told me that she's a writer and as well as she was an actor. So she only came here in South Africa for holidays with her husband and family, and then since she also was part of staying here, because originally she's from UK, the husband is from SA. So whenever they're in SA, she tries to do poetry reading and book readings within around the South, and share her work with other people. So I met her then, and then the play is actually based on my true life story.
What?
Yes, we speak about me from 1992, where I was, to when I was when Nelson Mandela died. So basically in 1992 I was still a kid, but then my mom had to share how it was back then and how we grew up. So the play actually won in terms of being one of the Zabalaza Festival plays in 2018. I had to act all the way in Masi, Desmond Tutu Youth Center. I went to Guga's Tebe in Langa, and I also went all the way to Bexa Theatre doing the play. So it was quite a huge change, and it was something different because I had to act 5 characters. We couldn't put anyone else within the play because no one else was going to be able to act what is in there more than I can, because it was based on my true life story. And Janelle did a great job in terms of writing it. She had nice, great reviews. So that's basically my acting, and I was quite pleased to get all the way to Bexa Theatre because after school, when I was in high school, I was doing extra mural activities in acting and also in weekends at Alice Academy. It's here in Hoek. So Emily Fermark, she owns the academy, so she was one of the people that groomed me in terms of acting. And my mom was saying taking me to acting weekends was her taking me out of the street, because I grew up quite a tomboy, hey, so like I was never quite a girly. So my mom told me I'm gonna be involved in quite a lot, especially growing up in Masi Ekasi. So she was like, every Saturday and Sunday, half day, I'm doing the acting. So there's much you can do half day when you're at home. You have to sort your life out and, try to help there and there, being sent to the shop. So that's like basically the acting part of it. That's also how I have so much passion for acting, mostly theater. There can be like acting, television acting. It takes time for people to actually get there. They have to go through a lot of theatrical plays and everything until they can get recognized. Well, actually, it's the recognition part, because we've got so much skills, but it's very hard for us to be recognized where people can actually see the work that you're doing and, take you where you're supposed to be.
Respect. I didn't realize it was like on that scale, on that magnitude. Bruh, you're involved in so many different things, bruh.
I try my best. I'm very kind. I like sharing my kindness there and there.
Respect. Can you talk to us about Masi Pumelele? What it means to you? What does Masi mean to you?
Well, Masi, it means a lot, eh? The name Masi Pumelele means let's succeed, and there ain't quite a lot of that happening in Masi. People are succeeding in other ways, they're succeeding on their own. No one is helping one another, there's no upliftment, whereby when you can see that you've got something that can better up my skills, you hook me up with a thing, you have to go out there and look for those things yourselves. And it's very hard coming from Masi. Masi is a disadvantaged community, and as much as it's small, there's a lot of people in Masi. There's a lot, and now it's getting cramped, and there's a lot of violence happening now, the youth as well. There's a lot of stabbing happening, and I'm definitely not happy about the fact that even like sorry to say, the foreign nationals are also getting into it now. They're getting into the crime and the and the everything. It's getting too much. And there was an issue whereby this girl was stabbed by a foreigner, and they couldn't find anything. There were fingerprints in her body, but then he's not registered into the system, because as we know, some of them don't come legally within South Africa. So imagine you get stabbed to death by someone who's not even recognized in the system. They don't have an ID or anything. That's a mess, and it's very heartbreaking.
That's
and
hectic.
It's hectic, bruh. It's hectic. And in terms of school, youth are trying to go to school, but it's hard, and especially it was a mess that since there's no housing in Masi, they had to take the sports field and do housing. It's a bit understandable, but then this is the second field that they did that to. There was a first field at the beginning area of Masi next to the primary school where they did that. They created housing in there, claiming that there's no land for people of Masi to get housing. And then now this is the second sports field that they're creating housing in. So what are they saying in terms of sport in Masi? That we must not play soccer? So we can only play street soccer, because there's like sections whereby people can close off a certain park and then make it a street fighting, like in Khoza Square. So they can do street soccer in there or street basketball
Yeah,
or netball, but then we don't actually have a proper field. And then now we can't even have like school holiday programs because the community hall was being used for that, and then now it is being used because of COVID. There's a lot of stuff that are happening within there. There's cubicles for people getting tested in there, so it's that it's a lot of mess. And also like there are people in Masi trying to to create change, and but I will say, when the meat is little and then there's a lot of people who are wanting the piece of that meat. So now some of them are just fighting for that meat. They don't even want them. Let's share this meat. You take a piece, I take a piece. They just want that meat for themselves. At the end of the day, there's no improvement there. There's always gonna be a meat, and then someone wants it for themselves without sharing within the community. And I also think that Masi needs a lot of role models, real life role models, graduates, people that can even if it's a career day. It used to happen when I was in high school. There used to be career days whereby UCT, CPUT, even Forsberg College, they'll come with their learners that are from Masi, that have, even if it's a teacher, a lawyer, or an accountant, that can speak to us and say, I am also from Masi. I also grew up in this disadvantagedness. I also grew up within the crime, but I managed to put myself focused, get funding there and there, because everything is in the intellect. We just get lazy to go to school. We get lazy to be mentored. So like if someone else can come from Masi and be something in their life, kids, they'll also get motivated and be like, I want to be like Luke, I want to be by so and so. But then if there's no one is gonna be really, just gonna be like, we're just waking up to go to school, and eventually we're gonna get a bursary, eventually we might even go to university, or else I'm just gonna work at Checkers, at ShopRite. Just they're already cutting off. As long as I've got matric, I can get a job. That's how the youth are living in now. I must just get matric and get a job, because there isn't like that much paying job if you don't have like matric. So like we really need like people from Masi who are graduates to start seeing themselves as role models.
I think
to
that's
show
why
us,
you're so important, bro. You're a role model yourself.
Thank you. Hey, but I can't do it on my own. That recognition thing, as much as we do things within our community, it takes those that sees that you're doing change to see that, those that you are helping, they can see that you are creating change. But also when you're creating change, you can't be bragging that I'm doing this, that's mostly why people who are doing things independently just from their heart, just being kind, they don't recognize that much, because it's not like you're bragging, okay, now I'm gonna help the community. You're just helping the community, and then someone that knows that you've been helping tells another one, and then they know, it's just that spread. I know within the youth, they know the type of work that I'm doing for them. But I can't say for much people my age, like the 28-year-olds, like they don't see me doing anything for them. Like, I can't do everything for everyone. I also have to start where they started from me, and you can't really do anything for someone who's 28 years. They already have their own plan in life. But at least if they're in primary school and in high school, you can easily, teach them something new. They can unlearn a few stuff, and try to change their life and curve them in a more positive, healthy living way than when they're 28. What can you say to me? I'm 28. Like, I'll tell you, I'm not gonna go to work today, or like I will see about it, But then at least a youth, you can just like point them, make an example from your life whereby you were also in a similar situation, and then you managed to do so and so. Luke managed to help you, so that they can see. Not that you're saying you're gonna help them, but they must know that there is help there. There's opportunities there. You just need to find the right platform, the right people also, and connection is very important. Connection is important.
Respect, sister. Everything you said, fire. I like that you put emphasis as well on the challenges, because it's not all about the glitz and the glam, and there's a lot of challenges. You spoke about resources, and I know about that. You spoke about the sport field at Okanyo, and the fact that now guys and girls have to find alternative ways to play football because there's no field. It's almost ironic that Koza Square is just across the road from Okanyo, considering all of that. Now, with that shortage of resources and facilities, I think it becomes even more important to connect with people, not just within your community, but within the neighboring communities. And you've been doing that. So now, you mentioned Earl Mentor was one of the directors in the play that you, the theatre production. Not besides Earl, who is a legend, you've connected with a lot of other people. So you got Earl Mentor in Ocean View. You've connected with people like Da'o and Sister Yandi in Masi. You've connected with Lorraine in Fishhook with regards to Africa Burn.
Yes, and also between Komiti and NOORDHOEK, they also support me. So I've got a strong support from Nicole. She's part of NOORDHOEK and Fishhook. So they do a lot of job, and they did an amazing job during lockdown with making sure that the soup kitchens had always like food for people in Masi. I mean, like during the lockdown, there were 20 soup kitchens in Masi. There were also food parcels being distributed in Masi. I was also part of helping them distribute even the Hluti meals within the community. So NOORDHOEK and Fishhook, like there's strong support in terms of like trying to see where people are needing something in Masi, and then they see where they can help. They're always there to give a helping hand. If you just go and knock on their door and say this is happening, they're not only helping me, they're helping a lot of people in Masi that have got like small NGOs or even like small businesses. Like they're doing an amazing job. Like they're good. And I don't even want to go to Africa Burn. Africa Burn was firstly Lorraine from Africa Burn, because I can't really say Africa Burn. Africa Burn is a huge community, but Lorraine was the one who actually recognized me in Masi in terms of the youth work that I'm doing, and she even like made sure that I get sponsorship from Africa Burn to continue. So I was able to donate sanitary pads and roll-ons and toothpaste and stuff to youth in Masi, Ocean View, and as well as some in Simonstown High School, because I had to go back to Simonstown High School because that was my high school. And then I also have kids from Masi that are in there that I mentor as well. So I also have to have a footprint in there. I can't just leave it just because I'm no longer in there, It was also part of being who I am. And there are kids from Masi, from Ocean View, who are also studying in there,
Yeah.
So they need to come and see that, from high school now she's doing this for the kids. I don't have much as well, but I try. Like you said, it's about connection. We have to connect, and people must actually know what you're trying to do in life. There are those bad people, obviously, but then when you're making connections, you will never meet someone who's negative. They'll be positive for what you're doing, and if they can't help, they'll tell you no. But I know that Luke has a friend so and so who's dealing with this. I will link you up with Luke, and then you guys can speak. That's where connections start from, and you can never get connected if I'm just in Masi. I have to go to Ocean View to their events when they have an event. I have to go to Komiti if they have a market there, and and see how they're also living, because like even in Masi, there is some people that come in Masi, but some they're scared of the crime. But then if they come with someone from Masi, they will never be scared, because who would drop someone outside of Masi coming with someone from your own community, because once you're with that person, you also feel like you're from here, and people, they love seeing that, they've got like different cultures coming in within their community. They also have that thing, oh, look at that person, they're in Masi, so now they're no longer looking them like they're tourists, like they're on their own. Obviously they'll look like a tourist, but then when you're with someone from there, they can even greet you and like, who is this? I'm sure you've experienced that when you're in Masi.
Yes,
they'll be
100%.
greeting,
I used to walk around with Anele and like we'll be smoking a blunt, and like people are greeting, hey Mlungu Unjani,
I want to take a picture with you, stuff like that.
Like the love, you feel it, bro. You walk around, you feel the love. People just want to know your story.
Yeah,
they just see you and they want to know your story. You know what I mean? It's, bro, I feel you. What can you say about people like Kanyiselo, Anele, Da'o, Sister Yandi?
Man, you see, the people that you've just mentioned from Masi Massive, from Mzansi, those are the people in Masi that they've been trying their best to build Masi one way or another, working together also, pulling in strings for people. Like they still even now working. I know most of them, they working in the field of youth development. Sisiandi, Da'o. I know also Kanyiselo is also involved in also like helping people. He also works for an NGO. I know Anele is trying his best to get himself back on feet, because as an artist, because he really loves music. He really loves music. As an artist, it's very hard, especially a rap artist, It's very hard for you to get out there, You've got to like pull a lot of strings, And then it's very hard to pull that if you're not working. So you have to also have that balance. That's why artists they work a lot, because you have to have the balance of, this is my artwork, and then I have to get financial from somewhere, one way or another, also to push up my art from being recognized, until you can get somewhere, a studio or something, someone that recognizes you. So those people, like, I'm also thankful that I've met them in my life, because like without them, I don't think I would have worked much in Masi, because I was still younger when I was starting to do this youth work, and then they were older than me. So they mentored me. If I need something, they will tell me if they also want to involve me with their things. You also learn from being involved in other people's, organizations. Then you start to learn from there. You see how they do things, and then you can see from what you want to do in the future. You will be able to see, okay, it worked for me when I was there like this, so it's not gonna work for me in there. So I'm really thankful and I'm grateful that they're still doing change within our community. They must know that we recognize them. They are seen.
Respect,
we see them, we respect them, and they must continue doing the amazing work they're doing for Masi. One way or another. Actually, in the future, we as Khululwas and the other Khululwas that are coming are going to be hosting those spaces because of them.
Respect, sister. And you've been hosting spaces, you've been doing workshops, can you talk, let's go into the facilitation work you do. Now, I know some of the stuff you deal with is very sensitive, like you were saying, there's things that you speak to young people about that perhaps they don't have another outlet or a person in their family or a friend who they can speak to. So they rely on custodians of space, such as yourself, who hold space and make the space safe so that they can express themselves. Now, you've dealt with things that are so important to discuss with the youth, such as reproductive health. Can you talk a little bit about dealing with those sensitive issues as a facilitator?
It's quite sensitive, hey. I always have a saying in all of my class, even if it's acting, everyone knows this, what happens in Vegas stays in Vegas, because they must know and trust me that whatever we speak about, I won't even go tell their parents about it. I must first go try and find help before I can even go to the parent and say this is happening, because they trusted me to tell me about it first before their parents can even know, or even like a nurse can know about it. So basically in the health and reproductive work, what I do is I teach youth about healthy lifestyle, about the importance of contraceptives, the advantages and disadvantages. You'd be surprised that none of them know mostly about the disadvantages of taking contraceptives. They just know the advantages. They just want raw. They don't care what happens within your body, as long as they're not using a condom. That makes them happy. And there's STI, STDs involved within not using a condom. It has nothing to do with pregnancy only, because with them they think it's just pregnancy. I won't be pregnant, I'm using a contraceptives. What about the sexually transmitted diseases that you get within not having to use a condom? So there's a lot. And as well as, like, as a woman, especially, that's why I focus on women. As a woman, we deep men, we have to take care of our babies come from our inside, so we need to take care of ourselves. And we need to know what happens within our reproductive system. So we need to know, once we're in puberty, how is my body going to change? Once I go out of puberty, how is my body going to change? Even before I'm on my menstrual cycle, we have bodily changes. They must know that in advance. And also there's that stigma that especially from black parents, that once you start being on your periods, you slept with a man. Some parents still have that. They don't know that it's natural, so they'll be beating up their kids, and telling them, no, you slept with a man, it's not true, So it's things like those, because with them, they've never been taught about that, like, from a younger age. It just happened, and then most of them, they were married from a young age for them to notice in terms of those things. So that's why it's important for me to speak about it, and for the parents to know. Whatever material I give them, I tell them, go show your mom. And whenever I have a session with them, I give them a letter of consent to give to their parents that I'm going to be having a session in so-and-so dates, so that their parents can allow me to have a session with them or not. There's some parents that allow me, and then there's some that don't allow me, because some, mostly, you'd be surprised the answers that I get. They'll be like, I'm teaching their kids how to be promiscuous, because I'm teaching them about contraceptives and everything, the importance of it. So they'll be like, no, you're teaching my kid now to go and have an injection or an implant, and then now she's going to be starting to be promiscuous. So can you see where you see there's a lot of misunderstanding in terms of health and reproductive?
Bro, you are dealing with some serious situations.
Daily life situations.
Bruh, respect, sister. Yo.
Thank you.
Because it's work that has to be done. So I respect people like yourself for doing it and for taking on the challenge. You mentioned Peace Jam. Now, to touch on the lighter side, talk to us about how you got involved in Peace Jam. You co-hosted. What's it like to be on stage with Nobel Prize winners and to know that you are recognized by people such as Earl or Lorraine or Yandi. You are recognized by people in your circle that see the work you're doing, and then you end up doing things like hosting Peace Jam. Can you tell us a little bit about that?
Ooh, with Peace Jam, I'm actually thankful that I was part of Peace Jam. I got involved with Peace Jam when I was still a volunteer at Desmond Tutu Youth Center. So that's when they also started like branching out in terms of Peace Jam. And then from there, I liked the fact that Peace Jam was mostly focused into mentors, mentoring and youth. So that was like very nice for me because I'm very broad in terms of mentoring, and I like that analogy of mentoring. And Peace Jam also has the point whereby you're not just going into the festival to meet people, to meet the Nobel Prize winners, You get in there to learn as well. There's certain different activities that are happening. So Peace Jam, they host a space whereby people that are doing change in the community, they bring them within the space, And then for them to host a session whereby a lot of young youth from different types of Cape Town are in there. Over 200 youth get in there when it's a festival, and then they can know about the type of work that you are involved in, whether it's your independent work or you're working for an NGO. So that is very nice. And also for the fact that I never knew there was Nobel Peace Prizes. I heard about it, and then I never knew it's quite something that is like actually happening. Someone can be like actually praised for the fact that they've been doing change for so much within their community or within their life. So that was good for me, because most of the time when you're doing something good, when you're being kind, you just get a thank you. A thank you is enough. Yes, it's enough. But then when you get billion acts of peace, saying thank you to you, that's like huge. That's like great. You did not only get recognized within your own circle, like you were saying, I'm recognized within my circle. That circle also recognizes, once it's in the semicircle, and then it's in another circle, so that circle grows, so it's no longer that mini circle of the people that we were saying, it's those connections. So now once you know about the things that I do, you can also share with someone. Maybe you're having a drink and then you hear someone talking about the thing, then you say, no, I have a friend Khulu, she's also doing that, so that connection, once you know what your cycle is doing, it's easy for them to give them connections, to give them skills, because you're sharing. You share the work, you share the passion, because like all of us are working for the goodwill, man. There's nothing much. We just want people to have positive life living, people to be positive, people to share, people to be kind amongst each other, basically how we were back then when we used to be all kind together. See, and another thing that makes things so hard now is the fact that there's a lot of opportunities, and then other people that just want everything. You can't really, be part of everything. You must have a focus. Then you're gonna reach somewhere in life when this is my focus and this is how I want to be recognized. We also have our 9-to-5 jobs whereby we have to get our ends meet. But then also you must give. There's no people that are helping grannies cross the road these days. They must press their robots themselves, so back then, back then you could help someone, cross the road, and then they just say thank you and you feel good about yourself. So for me, when I know a youth, I've helped a youth, and then they come back to me and say, yo, sis Khulu, remember I had a problem like this, it helped, thank you so much. I feel so good about myself, I've helped someone, it makes you feel, it's another good, man. It's another, I can't really explain it, I'm sure you know it, but it's a nice feeling, sort of a good, and with Peace Jam, what they're doing, they're also grooming. They're not only bringing us Nobel Peace Prize winners, they're grooming us also to be Nobel Prize winners one day, Nobel Prize winners of our own community. We don't have to be recognized by the whole world or the whole nation, but it starts within your community. Once you get recognized in Massey, we get recognized in Ocean View, because we're in the South all together. So we're a linkage, There can't be something good that you're not doing that no one is not going to know about, even in Fishhook. No, people will know, even if they've never met you, they will know that there's this person in Massey who's doing this work, until life makes you guys connect to do something more together, So that's why I'm always emphasizing on the connections. Look, I also wouldn't have met you if it wasn't because of the connection work that we've been doing, because you're mostly into artists, into music, and I'm into mostly, I can say acting since I'm an actor, but I'm also mostly into educational part of it. But then together we've been doing a lot of stuff. We co-hosted Peace Jam together, and it was a hit with Dale. You guys, you held that space like, it was fire. I just had the festival is finished. I was like, no, but we're just on stage now, because and it was everything was real. That's what I liked about Peace. It was real. We were real. If the moment was saying now we must let people cry, we let people cry. We don't rush the situation. If now we're jumping up and down. So like you guys are very good with stage running, and I've watched you with even Mzansi. I was part of being groomed in Mzansi in terms of being on stage and emceeing, and you also always make people feel comfortable. You always try to find the most comfort for people, not just for you only, because it's huge being in front of people and speaking in front of people. It makes you uneasy at times, because you must try to make sure that the people are feeling you, and then sometimes you get defocused, but then, when you feel the vibes of people, you just try and see that crowd, is feeling this vibe, because once one crowd feels the vibe, it connects also. Others will like, oh, it's fun in there, I want to go into that fun. So they come in within the fun. So Peace Jam is playing a huge role, definitely in the South, and it must also continue doing that, especially in the mentoring side of it. We're learning. I've learned from Peace Jam, and I'm willing to learn more, and I'm willing for youth that are also involved in many things, even some that don't know anything about Peace Jam, like they must know about Peace Jam. They must, it's very nice when you're around diverse youth in one environment, doing the same thing. We're just there all for Peace Jam within the activities that are happening there, but then we diverse. There's no much discrimination of you like that or I'm like that, because we're just here for peace. That's all. We're gonna jam within the peace. That's it.
Respect, sister. I love that you put emphasis on the participants. I think you said there was 200. I think there might have even been 400.
It was 200 and more. It was 200 and more.
So many. But it really is about them. It's not about the Nobel Peace Prize winners, and it's beautiful, but that's more hype. The real gold is the energy the participants bring.
Yep.
And I agree with you, Dale. He holds the space. Like when the three of us MC'd, I really felt like Dale was, but he had done it before as well.
He had.
But he's got that natural.
And
he's got the love for everybody, so he just connects, and it's a really special occasion to see.
It is.
But the participants bring the energy.
They do,
and we just facilitate that. It's actually all them. They're the ones creating the magic. You know what I mean? So. We're blessed to be involved. Shout out to Earl.
Shout out to Earl. He's doing like quite an amazing job, and thanks to him for involving us every now and then.
100%.
Like, we appreciate it a lot. It's a great environment also to learn, and also to see the youth learning, because mostly it's about the youth. Without the youth, we can't really have a Peace Jam here.
Facts, my sister.
We can't.
Tell me some of your favorite rappers from Masi.
Who?
Or even singers, just performers from Masi, or some of your favorite ones.
Okay, since now I've been focused in my youth development work, so I've got kids that are like starting to sing and everything. There's a girl named Misangetu. Oh, she can sing. She's got a soulful voice.
Okay.
If you see Lyra, she's got like a voice like Lyra's voice. She is like a smooth singer. So I've been mentoring her, and also trying to tell her she must upload on YouTube, on Facebook. She must upload her music, singing, so that people can recognize her, because she's still in grade 11. So mostly she's saying she loves singing, but she wants to study further within singing. So for now, she just wants to focus on making sure she finishes matric, and that when she's go to university, everything is perfect. I like the fact that she already knows what she wants, She already knows that she wants to focus on music, because she said to me, I'm good at music and I want to focus on that. And I like that, she's got that confidence that she knows she's good at what she's doing. And then there is Kolani. I'm sure it's Meister's friend. Remember him? He is very good in deep house now. Oh my gosh, he's a deep house DJ. So he's in UWC. So he's doing, I'm not sure if he's doing engineering, but I see that he's doing a lot of producing songs, and he's getting there. And there's also Njongo. He called himself Master Deep.
Okay.
And then there's a lot. There's Pungela. Oh, I love Pungela. Pungela, he does poetry. So he does music through poetry, and then he also produces his own beats. And he is very conscious. Like, he's the most conscious person I've met so far, you know. Pungela, yes.
Okay.
Mongezi Mangana is his name. He's from East London, but he stays here in Cape Town now. Oh my gosh, you actually need to meet him. He's great. And what I like about his music, he sings about the burning issues of the now, you know.
Okay,
He's focusing on the now, whether it's political, religious, educational, health-wise. He's talking about the now. So with his music, it's very smoothing for me, because, you know, sometimes we can see things happen that are bad, and then we don't talk about it. But when we talk about it, it makes us feel good as much as any other music. When someone is singing about sunshine, you can see sunshine. Sometimes it's just the sun shining, but then when someone sings about the fact of how you feel when you're having sunshine within your body, you also now get to experience and also appreciate the sun even more better. Yeah, and I'm sure there's some artists that I've forgotten within Masi, but I will have to apologize, but there's quite a lot.
No, you mentioned some fire. You mentioned some fire. There's
quite a lot. There's a lot of there's a lot of rappers, you know. There's also upcoming artists, and there's dancers as well, upcoming dancers. I have to shout out to Umafu. Mafu has been through a lot. He's been in prison and out of prison, and he was a good dancer, Panzula dancer, when we were growing up. So he's been to prison and out of prison, and then now, after he changed from being a thug, he's teaching youth like he was when I was younger, teaching youth Panzula, young girls and young boys. So he's doing quite good, because, you know, meaning that he has learned from all that life stuff that happened in between. He knew that still I am good with my dancing. Now I must give back. So he's doing that as well. So I have to say shout out to him for doing that.
Respect.
Yes, he's doing an amazing job, and I must tell him he must be like, you know, he must have confidence and resilience, you know. It's gonna take him time for the youth to actually follow, because some they just follow for the fact that, oh, I want to learn how to dance, but they don't have a passion of dancing. Mafo has a passion of dancing, you know. The youth that he's teaching, they're doing amazing dancing. Even when it was Heritage Day, they were dancing. Even when there's the Koza Square, when they having the mini sports in there, he also, like, you know, dances and do panzula for us. So there's a lot of people in Masi that are doing a lot. That's why when we spoke earlier, I was saying to you, I miss when there was like jams from Mzansi, you know, because there used to be even monthly one of those whereby, you know, even when there was Massive, you know, there will be youth, you know, showcasing their skills. There'll be acting, there'll be dancing, there'll be rapping, there'll be poetry, you know. So we miss some of that, because also that's where we get to see much talent of Masi, not just people that we know. Masi is, there's a lot of people who have talent, but they don't have a place where they can showcase that, you know.
Platform.
Yeah, the platform. Even in schools now, they used to have like maybe termly events where, you know, a school will be hosting something. I don't hear that happening. Even in modeling, you know, they used to be huge in modeling. I don't hear any of that happening. So I don't know whether like there is no drive, or people don't see a point, or there's no resources, or maybe there's no time, you know. It's a lot, and you can't really know on your own. That's why when you try to take up that space in what you're doing, you just take out your space and make sure you just do it consistently, you know, because consistency is also very important, because we deal with youth, you know. You can't be teaching a youth this today and then after a month you come back. No, you have to be there every week, even if like you're not teaching them now, just to check up on like how are you doing? Are you still doing good? Because sometimes they can be fine at school but they're not fine at home, you know. But then when you check up on each other, you know, okay, you're not fine now in this, and then you try to help. If it's family based, you try to help where you can, you know. Because like as we said, we know people that know people. Like, I'm not a social worker, but I know some social workers in Masi. If I see that a youth needs a social worker, I go myself and go tell the social worker the situation and go with the youth, because like I said, there's things that we can't speak to our parents about, you know. We're gonna get up being beaten up, and who wants to be beaten up by a parent?
Sure, bruh. It's amazing, bruh. I love the passion you speak with when you talk about other people and helping other people.
Thank you.
Respect, my sister.
Respect,
What about
respect.
you? What about Khululwa? What about Khulu? What are your plans for the near future? What do you hope to get out of your life?
Actually, I want to. The work that I've been doing, surprisingly, I've been doing it without being registered. I've been independently as myself, going to funders and sponsors, asking them that this is the work I've been doing for so many years. At least I've got a grounding for them to see that, okay, yes, she has been doing that. So that's how I get funding. But I want to register. My goal was for my birthday this year, I want to register my NGO. And I've been helped there and there with doing my constitution. But it's hard when you registering via the government and everything. I've tried to go through those measures and I saw it's not working. So I've started saving up for myself so I can just pay to register my NGO. So that's gonna be, I need to make sure by the end of the year this year, whether I don't have my certificate but I know it's in the process, paid for, that next year I'm doing real job, because I've noticed that you can't mentor forever. There's people that are coming out of my hands that are now mentors. So they need to take out that space now for me. So my job would be being on the background and try to find resources there and there so that this thing happens, because youth tend to listen mostly when it's someone not so much older than them, because you can they know you living the same lifestyle, same story. So I'm growing up, so I need to make sure that they have someone that they can feel comfortable with that is much younger than me, maybe 25. I'm going to be 29. Maybe someone who's 25 that they can also speak with and vibe with, because also for me, a lot has happened to me. There's other things that I can't vibe with, and even on my face, when they're sharing, they can see that my face changed, even though what I will say will not be how my face showed, but they will feel unlikely to say that in the long run, because now I'm like a mother to them. I'm mothering them now. I'm no longer just mentoring. So I won't let them go into that. Sometimes you can let them experience something for themselves. But this day and age, you can't. There's not that. You have to stop them before they experience. There's a lot of happening. There's a lot of drugs, alcohol happening, and crime happening within the community. So you can't just say no. You can just go to a party and try and see how it goes. What if they go and then they get stabbed, and then they're gonna say, who said you can go and try out? Me. So I have to be a mother now. They can just have someone also younger than me who will be telling them, yes, I went to the party and it was like this. You must be careful with so and so. I can't tell them that now. I can't that. I'm old. I need to tell them that you can, their parents are telling them, we can only go to a party once you are 18 and above. Some they even say, my mom, I only went to parties after I was 21 and above. So their parents have got different standards. So that's why I feel like now I need to register so that I can be able to also have money coming in within the NGO, so that I can be able for the mentors to get something, because I never got anything, and it was hard not getting anything, especially in this day and age now, and for me, I think what got me to continue with the work that I'm doing, like I said, my mom is very kind and generous. My mom is about giving. My mom will give the last bread to the neighbor and say, for us tomorrow, God is gonna make a plan. And surprisingly, God always made a plan. I don't know how she did it. So that motivated me into also doing the work, that respect, I can use my money. My mom can help me use my money or her money to do what I want to do. It's gonna come back, even if it doesn't come back as money. Sometimes it doesn't come back as money. Someone will be like, here's a box of sanitary pads I'm donating to you. You'll be like, oh, okay, thank you, that's so generous of you. So sometimes you don't have to receive money back. You can receive more youth coming into your session saying that I've heard from so and so that you're doing an amazing session. I also want to learn from your session. So sometimes it's not about money. Money is important to make things consistent and for the resources to be there, yes, but the goal of giving, it's not about getting. If you're gonna be expecting to get something back, you're not gonna go far. You must just give freely and without expecting, and just make sure that whatever voice you put out there and whatever you want the people to believe and understand, they believe and they understand, and that you are always there. When they need you, you can't always be there, yes, but then some way you must just always be there. And if you can't, like I said, since I can't mentor now all the time, I refer them to other mentors and tutors, so that they can get mentored, because I can't always be there for their schoolwork.
I love the way you connect the dots, and you're willing to go with people to sort their problems out and connect them to different people, even if you don't have the skill or the resource. You try and connect to someone who does. That's fire. I think with the work we're doing and with what you're doing, especially on the ground level, I think that's one of the keys, one of the most important things to providing solutions on the ground, is to just connect to who you know.
Yep.
And someone's going to have what you need, or they're going to know who has what you need.
Yes, you said it right there.
You're killing it, sister. You're killing it.
Thank you.
Bruh, I want to ask you, is there anything you want to say to the people of the Deep South, of Masiphumelele, of Ocean View, Fish Hoek, Simonstown, Red Hill, Sun Valley, Muizenberg? Is there anything you want to say to the people in the Deep South who might not know who you are, and the ones who do know who you are?
Oh, well, people of Deep South, as you said, some might know me and some might not know me, and with this interview, a majority of them are gonna certainly know me. And thank you for the opportunity. Thank you for inviting me so much.
Thank you, sister.
Well, all I can say is, like, let's continue working together, because we're doing much as other people cannot see the change that we're doing, but those within our circle, they know, they see, they can recognize us, and they're giving us high fives for the work that we're doing. And I like the fact that Deep South, we connected, man. Each community works within each community, we interlinked, we interlinked in the South. I like that. Let's keep it like that. And also, let's get more involved within the less disadvantaged communities. Let's try to pull out those strong links and try to see how we can help each other grow more within the communities. So mostly it's about, let's connect, let's invite Masi. Komiki must invite Masi people when they're having a market. We can't really have markets in Masi yet, but I think it's in the pipeline. It will happen as well. So they must invite us. They must post on the Masi Facebook page or their Facebook page so that we can see, because also some people also want to go there, but they don't know that there's such markets, because I know, like, even Scarborough, they've got like monthly markets, so people must know. And yeah, let's just connect to each other. Let's connect, man. Let's connect. Let's lift each other up. The Deep South, has been doing that. It has been lifting each other up. So let's continue. Let's not just get discouraged by what has been happening within the world with the diseases and everything, the lockdown. Let's just keeping on and going further. And then who knows, maybe Masiphumelele will succeed because of each other, from pulling each other up, so, we all together in this, we're in the middle of each other, there's no running away from each other, so let's connect.
Yo, sister, you're blowing me away here, bro. Like, I've known you for, as I said, 15 years. Just listening to you for this last hour or whatever it's been, I'm like, whoa, everybody I've spoken to, I'm learning new things. I like that you said deep house by mistake. Shows you got, I know, right? The music is in
yeah, the music is in my head, and I love deep house music, so that mistake is legitimate.
Yo, Khulu, thank you so much for your time. Thank you for coming on, sharing your love for your mother, for your community, for your brothers and sisters on the ground level. You are a legend. You are a custodian of your community. I'm going to ask you to please keep doing what you're doing. Keep on inspiring people. Keep on finding solutions. Keep on connecting people to each other. And we will meet again.
Certainly.
You need anything from us, let us know. We will be there to support you where we can. Yeah, bro, all my gratitude. Respect my sister.
Thank you so much. Thank you for the invite. I appreciate it.
Blessings.
Thank you.